Hey everybody, welcome back to creating scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator using free resources. Today we got a new free resource. I'm not taking any credit for finding it. It was suggested by Morrissey Monkey, one of my subscribers to the channel. Thank you very much. This is a product called Materialize. Imaging to Material tool at boundingboxsoftware.com. And I'll be honest, I am not a texture creator expert, okay? I'm not. I am learning a lot of stuff about how to make the textures and stuff, but a lot of what you're going to see is me just playing with some knobs and sliders and stuff. I may not understand them clearly, but when Morrissey Monkey suggested or said, hey, have you ever worked with Materialize? I said, well, you know, I'm going to go take a look. So I went and saw some of the videos. He has some tutorials on this page. And I looked, and it did intrigue me. All right. Now there's a lot of software out there, like Substance Painter and all that kind of stuff that you can spend money to create your PBR textures. But this is a free resource. This is open source, and that gets my attention, not because I'm cheap, okay? It's just that you look at your budget and you figure all the different costs you're going to make. But anyway, I downloaded Materialize and I started playing with it, and it got me thinking. And so I'm going to show you some things about it. I encourage you guys to download this software and play with it yourself. I think you're gonna find it extremely useful. Okay, so let's get started. So yeah, here's the website, boundingboxsoftware.com, and you simply just click the download to download for your operating system. Obviously, most of you are probably Windows 64-bit. When you download it, downloads a zip file, and you just extract that into your, don't put it in your program's files, just put it somewhere on your disk. I have a folder called software that I just download and unzipped it in there. And then when you run it, you may get a message saying that Windows needs another resource feature. Go ahead. I think in my case it was something like NetFrames 2.5 or something like that. Anyway, I went ahead and downloaded the requirement, and it works just fine. Now, do I understand everything about this software? No, I do not. This is kind of like a third or fourth use look at the software. So we're just going to take a look at it together. So I have a shortcut, and this is basically what it looks like. Really simple. My only caveat that I probably have on here, where you can make suggestions, I'm sure. I haven't done any of that yet, and I probably will, just like I do with all the other open source software that I work with. I test it and say, hey, you know, try this and all this kind of stuff. Some make it in, some don't. Anyway, I would like to see tool tips. You know, when you hover over something, it tells you exactly what that button's doing. You know, some type of tool tip. Some of these I had to experiment to try to figure out what the heck all of these buttons mean. Some of them are obvious, but like P, C, O, and S. I know O is open, S is save. I think C is clear, but I'm not sure. But anyway, this is what you get when you first open it up. Now, I did an experiment. I didn't go into a I didn't download a texture to play with because I'm trying to think a little bit out of the box. I can go to my textures directory that I've downloaded free textures and I can open those in this, obviously. But I was interested in doing something else. So I went outside with my phone, and we have an old shed, and I took a picture of a piece of wood on the shed, and I'm going to use that as my texture. I have not brought that into my Krita and clipped it and made it nice and pretty. This is just the raw image that I brought in from the photo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that photo to the diffuse map. So all I'm going to do is hit open, hit the O, I think is open, and I'm going to migrate over where I have that. Okay, I think I put it in my Blender Learn director folder. And then I'm going to come down, and it's one of these three images. This one here is just a picture of a garage door on my garage. I'll play with that later. This beige looking one was a cement masonry unit or a cement block, and I'm going to play with that because I like how that came in. And then this is the piece of wood, so I'm going to click on that and I'm going to select, and it opens this image to the diffuse layer. Okay, so there's the piece of wood. It's nice antique barn wood, which is pretty nice. We're tearing the barn down, and people are actually coming and getting some of this wood because it's collector's items and they can use it in crafts projects and stuff. But anyway, I digress, as I always do. All right, so here is a picture of the piece of wood that I took just simply with my smartphone. All right, and like I said, I haven't made it a nice square or anything. It's just raw. Now, you can go in and click the edit, and you can change a lot of the settings. Like I said, I don't know what a lot of these settings are yet. I'm still learning it. I'm presenting this to the community so you guys can download it and play with it and make reports back to me if you would. That would be fantastic. Let's learn this together, make suggestions together, and see if we can make this a hot product for this bounding box software. All right, so you can play around with a lot of these different, like remove light, you know, whatever that kind of does. Okay, it kind of flattens it. I don't like that. You can remove shadows. You can turn the shadow box up and all that kind of stuff. Then when you got it, you can click set as diffuse, and it pretty much locks that in. All right. Now we want a roughness or a height map to it. So let's go ahead and create height map. Click that, and here is this is your original texture, and this what appears to me, like I said, there's actually no help, and I'm not dogging them. There's no, at least I have not found a help screen or anything like that. All right, I hope they get to that point. So I'm assuming a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about. All right, so I believe that this part on this half of the image is the actual height map, and this over here on the left side is your original image. So we can come in here, and they got some presets. So this is, I believe, the default. If you want more details, it does this equalizer type of function and changes your image over here. And like if you want just more displacement, these are the settings there. I kind of like the detail a little bit, and you can sit and I know you may not be able to see it on the screen, but some things you can see some subtleness changes when you use these equalizer sliders. All right, so I'm gonna just kind of drop. This may look like crap when I bring it in, but I'm just, like I said, just presenting this to the community so we can all enjoy and experiment. All right, so you're playing with different frequency weights and contrast weights. You can move some of this up. Like I said, I'd like more documentation. They have presets, like if you want to see more cracks, funky if you want it to make it look weird, whatever that means. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that just to see what it ends up being. Okay, so I'm going to click set as height map, and that updates your image up here. We all want a normal map, right? So you just click create normal map, and it automatically creates the normal map for you. And then you can go in, like if you wanted to smooth it out, they have a preset. If you want crisp, I don't want this wood to be, you know, this bumpy like this, because it really isn't. It's relatively smooth. So I'm going to choose smooth. All right. But you can play with the equalizer buttons. You can do some angular intensities and things like that. Play with those. Angularity. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, look at that. Okay, that kind of makes it look like the crisp, doesn't it? But you can play with all these different functions. And I suggest you just get it and play with it and get used to it. All right, so I'm going to save this as the normal map. And then I'm going to create the ambient occlusion, which are my shadows. Okay, and you can turn that power up and up and down. Okay, we're gonna just play with some of this stuff. I know it's probably gonna look like crap when I bring it in, but I'm just, like I said, introducing you to a new tool. And I'm going to set that as the AO. All right, now the one part I do understand right away is I want my file format to be a JPEG, so a PNG, so I'm going to click PNG, and the property map I also understand. Okay, so if when it's creating it, when we save this project, it's going to save. Right now, I'll have 4 PNG files. One for the AO, normal, diffuse, and then the height map, or roughness, I would believe. I would have liked to see roughness in here all by itself, but maybe that's what smoothness map is. It just used the opposite word. I'm an idiot sometimes. Let's create a smoothness map, since we don't have one. Let's create smoothness. Yeah, that looks more like a roughness map to me. I am such an idiot. All right, so we are going to, let's see, if we turn the smoothness up, it gets flatter, right? So I'm gonna darken that up. I don't know. Let's see here on contrast here. No, I don't like that. Okay, so let's move the smoothness over here, and let's call this our roughness. All right, so let's set this as smoothness. I don't know how it's going to write it to disk yet. Okay, but I'm going to have now I've created slots for creating 5 PNGs. And now back over to this menu. The property map, if you remember, in PBRs, you have a red channel, a green channel, a blue channel, and then you have an alpha channel, right? Okay. For your PBRs to work correctly, your ambient occlusion needs to be on the red channel. So I'm going to choose ambient occlusion for the red channel. For the green channel, that's usually your that's your roughness. So for the green channel, I can probably choose the smoothness as the roughness, okay, in the green channel, or I can probably choose the height map. All right, but I did one with the height map, and I'll kind of I might show you that. I made the green channel the height map and not the smoothness, because I spaced out and didn't even know about the smoothness. Okay, but we'll look at it. The other one is the blue channel, and the blue channel is assigned to the metallic. Now, we don't have a metallic, since we're dealing with wood, we don't have a metallic channel, but you can create one if you wanted to create splotches like it looks like there's water, like it's wet. You can use the metallic channel for saying that, you know, you have some water streaks on your texture or something like that. So anyway, that's where the property maps assignments come. Then it's just simply as saving your project. So I'm going to save the project. I already have a directory called test wood. A folder called test wood. So I'm going to create a new one, and I'm going to call this, we'll just be fast here, TW2 for test wood 2 or something, and confirm that. And then I am going to go into TW2 right here, go into that folder, and I am going to give my textures a name. I'll call them TW2. All right, you just have to put the root in, and it will automatically append height map, diffuse map, normal to the end of this root name with the corresponding PNG. All right, so I got TW2, and I'm going to hit select, and let me open up my file explorer and bring that over to you so you can see it here. I want to just get to the directory that I want first. There's Blender. There we go. Blender learn. Whoops. Slide my Windows Explorer. Here's TW2. Double click that folder, and notice now the MTZ is the file format for the project, so you can open it up later and make changes. Okay, so that you're going to get a project file. That now you notice that TW2 has an AO, a diffuse original, and a height map, a normal map, and we have a smoothness map. Okay. Now, let's go into Blender and see how that looks. So here we are in Blender. I got the default cube. We're going to use the default cube. He gets to stay today. We don't have to delete him. Let's go into UV editing and turn on face select. Hit A, make sure everything's selected. Go to UV unwrap, smart UV, and OK. So now we have our UV map over here. We're going to go into our material editor. And I'm just going to leave the default name for material, and I'm going to come down here to MSFS parameters and change that to standard. And then we are going to come down and open up these layers and see how they look. So we're going to go for the base color. We are going to go with the, I believe, the original diffuse, I think. Okay, so let's go to TW2 folder, and let's look at diffuse original. Let's open that up. Okay, there's my texture. Now remember, these were taken with my smartphone just outside. I just pointed at my barn, so it may not be, you know, gorgeous or anything. And let's select all those and S and scale that up so at least it matches the whole thing, so we can see if we have any detail. Now I need to come over here and turn on viewport shader here and zoom into our wood. Okay, and let's go into layout and see how that looks. Turn on the shader, zoom in here. All right, so it looks nice. There's the nail holes with the old 1880 square nails in there. All right, it doesn't look too bad. All right, let's go back into UV editor and add another layer. Let's add in the normal map. So we'll click the normal map, go back into TW2, choose our normal layer, click open, and not much happens. Okay, I do see some change in my image, not a lot, but we need to give it some height, right? So let's go back into UV editing, come over here to our occlusion. Now normally I would take the AO, the roughness, and the metallic, and I would bring that into Krita, and I would make a composite of those three, but each one is only assigned to its particular channel. Okay, I think I did a video quite a while ago showing you how to do that in Krita. So for this layer, we're only going to bring in one of those images, and we're going to bring in the roughness or the smoothness. I might even bring in the height map. I don't know. But let's go to open and go to TW2 and choose our smoothness. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but let's open that and see what it does. Yeah, it doesn't do much with that. Well, somewhat. I mean, I can kind of see it in a way. I mean, the way that the light is hitting it with the normals and stuff like that. It is subtle. It is subtle. I'm going to go back into UV editing, and I'm going to change this. I don't know if this is going to work, so bear with me. But I'm going to go into and replace smoothness. I'm going to open that with the height map. But I didn't save the height map to a particular channel, but let's go ahead and open it anyway. See, whoa, yeah, actually that did make a big difference. Yeah, it does make a big difference. All right, so I would probably use the height map as the roughness, I believe. But like I said, this isn't a highly thought out texture. I just went outside with my smartphone and took a picture of the building, all right, and brought that into Materialize and turned it into a PBR. Now let me show you a couple other features of Materialize. Let's go into the diffuse, preview that. All right, now if you hold down your right mouse button, you can rotate your material so you can do some inspecting. All right, now I am just previewing the diffuse. If I want to preview the height, you'll get just the height. If you want to preview the normals, you just preview the normals. All right, and if you want to see them all together, show full material. Now this is the part that I have not gotten used to yet. All right, I haven't. We can turn down the smoothness. Yeah, see this stuff I haven't played enough with. All right, I'll be honest with you, I have not. I'm not understanding a lot of what I'm seeing here yet, but I'll get there. All right, so anyway, so let's just go back to preview the diffuse. All right, but if you hold down your right mouse button, you can rotate it, you can zoom in and out and play with that. So there's some things I would like to see in this software package to make it better. I would like more help. All right, I mean, obviously. I would like a maybe a help screen that has some documentation. He has, like I said, 3 videos on how to make how to work with some textures, but I would like to see like some tool tips. You know, what is this doing? But I'm sure that this product will evolve, I'm sure, at least I hope. And I haven't played with a lot of the other stuff. But anyway, hey, thank you, Morrissey's Monkey, for the suggestion for looking at Materialize for making your own PBR textures. And like I said, just go out and take some pictures of some objects that you want and see if you can turn them into PBRs. Hey, I hope you have a fun Friday. Have a great weekend. Please subscribe. Leave me comments and play with Materialize, and come back to this video and put some feedback in to this video stream so we can share this along. And you know, make suggestions. He has a make suggestion box, so click that and send him some feedback, and let's see if we can make this product even better than it is. All right. Hey, you guys have a great weekend. Please subscribe. You can, if you feel inclined, buymeacoffee.com, my physical world. And we will see you guys on the next video. See you later.